FRK 311, feedback on question 3 of module test 1 of 2015. General impressions. Generally, students did not learn this topic at all. The layout and disclosure was done very poorly. At third year level, you must not spot only the latest work, but learn all the work done throughout the semester and expect everything. Students did not read the question properly. The error that was given to you and the amount of the error was clearly given in the question as I indicate here. Further, we tell you also in the question that you must accept this as correct. So therefore, the provision given on the dismantling cost, which goes to the plant on the one hand, and provision for dismantling cost on the other hand, should have been dealt as is in the question. The reason we give the 9% pre-discount rate is so that you can calculate the interest that has to be capitalized against the dismantling costs for the future periods and do your adjustments in terms thereof. Further, we told you clearly in the question, in note 2.2, that the deferred tax must be used since SARS will not reopen previous assessments. Many students did not refer to deferred tax. Let's look at the answers. Let's start off with the depreciation on the plant. You should have recognized the plant on 1 October 2012, the full 300,000 as we show you there. And then, for the rest of that year, calculate the depreciation up till the end of the year. Your adjustment to plant for the comparatives of the opening balance of the comparatives was then the 296,250. On the other hand, you had the dismantling cost that was created at 1st of October 2012. And from that date until the end of the year, you then had to allocate the interest that was capitalized against this dismantling costs, giving you accumulated dismantling costs up to the beginning of the comparatives of 306,750. This will then be disclosed, as we show you here, as part of the opening balance of the comparatives. And this only affects the PPE, the increase in the provisions, and the balancing effect against retained earnings. Then, for the 20.13 year, you had to calculate depreciation for that year and bring it in, and you also had to calculate the interest charge against the dismantling costs for that year. And once you've calculated these items, you can now go and insert them in the correct adjustment for 2013. Cost of sales, finance charges, and there you have the tax expense that relates to these expense items. On the other hand, it affected a decrease in the property, plant, equipment, an increase in provisions, and the deferred tax liability. That is what you should have done relating to the 2013 adjustment. For the 2014 adjustment, again, you calculated the depreciation, you calculated the interest on the period, and these adjustments were made to the 2014 year per se. And they are not corrections of prior periods, they are an adjustment of the current year because you are setting up the current year's financials. The second part of the Part A was the disclosure of the statement of changes in equity. Again, dear students did very poorly. Even though this is a general statement that you should know by now, students didn't even do the basics correctly in this statement. And then also the adjustments, which you can go and have a look at again when you do the calculations. That adjustment there comes straight from your adjustment that you calculated in the error. And the adjustment that you have here is also the amount that you calculated in the error. And then in the 20.14 year, the adjustment was made in the year itself. Further, Part C of this question was the theory part. Although students were told in class to learn the theory by heart, very few students gave this answer correctly. And those that tried an answer here gave the incorrect answer. So please have a look at what we tell you to do. Thank you.